Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. In this one I'm going to be giving Ed some attention before the spring comes and before I can get him back out on the road. It's still January, we're still in the terrible weather and it's stormed anyway, so with the help of the new ramps I'm going to get underneath and hopefully get the whole underside under-sealed. I got a few advisories on the MOT with some bits of rust which I knew, but I knew they weren't structural, so I knew it would be fine. But now's the time to put some of those right. Now I'm not going to cover it step by step, repairing some of it. I'm just going to dip in and out, show you what I've got, and then just kind of do it as a rolling video log, I guess. So yeah, I'll grab the small camera and I'll show you. To start with, I'm going to be focusing on the rear valance because it's quite rotten, which is fine, nice cheap part to replace, but it depends how deep it goes into closing panels and into boot panels, and I've been down that wormhole before, so fingers crossed it doesn't go as deep, but we know classic minis. So looking from the top, this is a previous repair across here. This was done a few years ago, but this you can see it's completely rotten, and if I poke behind, yeah, there's a lot coming out. So there's not any point replacing this part here. When I've already replaced that. For the price of them, I think I paid £25 for a new panel. However, if we can have a look underneath, my concern is once I get into here in these areas, I find this to be rotten. As you can see, the access between the wheels and things like that is not great. So I'm always going to, when I start looking at sparks and stuff, I need to cover the tyres. You can see all the way around, there's lots of surface rust up here. I can move the light to the other side. Apologies for the shaky camera. Again, it feels fairly crusty in here, but until I get that cut off and get them behind here, I don't know how bad it is. All along here you can see fairly crusty. This is my worrying bit up here and into the boot floor, because I don't want to start doing patches, especially when you've got the fuel tank on the other side of here. So to get access into here, I'm going to need to remove the bumper and I'm going to need to remove the rear fog light. Now these are just bolts. Can't even remember, I think there's like 4 or 5 on the bumper attached to the flange. 2 bolts for this. Now they're just straightforward bolts, but those straightforward bolts depend on how rusty it is underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the bolts underneath, try and get them out, and I'll come back once I've got access to the panel. Never good when you tap something and rust falls out. I'll fix that. So these two have got captive bolts behind, so they should just screw off. But it does get pretty messy behind here. But as you can see, this is a new fog light, so I'm hoping they should come off okay. As you can see, I've taken out the fog light. It just feeds through a hole here into the boot, and it's just two connectors. So yeah, that gives me access to all this area. The valance loops around here, so the wheel arches have to come off as well. Okay, I don't know how well you can see that here, but when I push on here there's actually water coming out. So this you can see how far it goes and how deep it goes and how much I might need to repair. Hopefully just a patch, but we'll see. Anyway, I need to get the arch off the other side because I'm concentrating on the valance just now. It's tight against the wall because that's the working space I've got, so I'll do that off camera, just undo that, and then I'll get a better look at the wall of this and I can start getting this cut off. I think what I'm going to do first, or next, is clean up the top side of this to see how good the flange is up here, and clean up the bottom side of that, because that's going to determine whether I look to drill out spot welds or if I just cut this and grind back, because I need a good flange to spot weld through to. But if it's going to be repairs, there's no point taking the time to drill out the spot welds. I can already feel under here that there's no flange on the underside, so I'll see how brittle it is once all the paint and rust and everything's off. So as you've seen with the small camera there, quite a bit of rot underneath. These areas in here, they're prone to rust. They trap water and yeah, they just rot out. It was the same when I done the Eleanor, to be honest. This closing panel here is just ready to fall away, you can see that there. Now when I ordered the panel I knew these were rotten, so I've just ordered some Magnum ones. You can see that will fit just in there. So the other side isn't as bad. This is a bit more solid, and to be honest I could probably get rid of the surface rust and clean it up, but I've got a new panel there to go on. And try to cut all this back on this side with the wheel and everything on, it's just too much hassle. So you can see up here, just off camera, there's a hole. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this whole panel off and the other side, and yeah, I'm going to then get underneath and just chip away, getting rid of the old flange here and all the old metal, so that basically I know exactly where the new metal is to go on, so there's no more rot. So I've been chipping away at this for a few days, as I said, and I'm a good few hours in now, and it actually is a lot worse than what I thought. It goes deeper than what I thought. I've purposefully not jumped into too much how much I've done this repair, because I've done it previously on Eleanor in a bit more detail. So to see the makeup of this and new metal going on, you can jump to my earlier video to see that. again, this one I'm just jumping in and out to show you what you can maybe expect for those that are following Ed's adventures. So the panels here, they're made up of, this has got 3 layers on it. The first layer is the rear panel, comes down, comes out. The middle flange in here is made from the boot floor, so the boot floor comes in, tucks under here, and then the lower panel is the new one I've got. The Valance, which sits like that. So 3 layers here, all spot welded together all the way along here. Problem is, when they're spot welded and not sealed correctly, water gets in and it rots from the inside out. So what I've found is when I've been getting some of these layers off underneath, I've been revealing the rot. So when the Valance has met the boot floor and it's been spot welded on the underside here, it's basically caused rot and it's rotted out all the way along the floor. Now I'll go along with the small camera and show you what I mean. But what I'm now facing is I'm going to have to do either replacement to this lip here on the rear panel. The floor, the whole rear end is needing pretty much replaced. The Valance I've got, so that's not an issue. But I didn't want to get too deep with Ed at the moment because there's a few things that obviously hinder me doing this. One, subframe's still in place, so I can't go too far back if the rock goes too far into the mounting bracket without taking the whole subframe off, and I don't want to do that at this stage because I want to use this for the spring and summer. The second big one is obviously if I'm going to be welding under here, I've got a fuel tank in here, albeit it's pretty empty, but it's the fumes that are flammable, so I need to take the right precautions. Now I have got fire blankets and all that sort of stuff, so I won't go near with a welder till I decide how I'm going to address that. But yeah, I just thought I would show you how quickly things can escalate. And for those of you that watch my videos, you'll know if I do a repair, I'm going to do it to last, and I'm going to do it properly, because if you just do it quickly, yeah, you could cover this with cheap metal over the top of it, quickly weld it on, cover it in sealer, cover it in under seal, and it'll maybe get you a year, a couple of years, but it'll just rot out and it'll take the rest of the good metal with it. So if you love your car, take the time and do it right, even if it is annoying at the time. Join me for the next update and I'll see where I am at that stage. But pretty gutted because I've got a lot of other stuff I'm trying to get on with in the background. I'm trying to get the camper van up and running for the spring with MOT. That's given me a few issues, and obviously I want to get back into Elnor and my Type 2 as well, so just too many projects. I'm sure you can all relate.